Today we're playing as Shadowcat against Sentinels. So let's check out the Sentinel deck first. So in his deck we have Project Wideawake cards, the standard cards from the core set, Zero Tolerance, Scenario, and also Sentinels. So Sentinels, Zero Tolerance, standard from standard cards from the core set, and obviously his Project Wideawake cards. The main scheme is called Knight of the Sentinels. So here you can see Project Wideawake, Zero Tolerance, standard sets, one modular set Sentinels. Setup: set each captive ally aside, reveal the Operation Zero Tolerance and Mutants at the mall side schemes. Okay, so then we go to 1B, Knight of the Sentinels. Operation Zero Tolerance gains permanent. Force response: after threat is placed here, if there is at least 5 threats, the first player places the top card of their deck face down under Operation Zero Tolerance, then remove 5 threat from the scheme. Starts with 1 threat and goes up by 1 every round. Okay, so the main scheme pulls Operation Zero Tolerance and Mutants at the mall. So let's start with Operation Zero Tolerance. So this gains permanent, so it can't be removed. After an enemy attacks and defeats an ally, place that ally face down under this scheme. If there are X face down cards under this scheme, the players lose the game. X is 3 more than the number of players. So if we get 4 cards underneath this scheme, we lose, and we get them when the enemies attack and kill an ally, or if this reaches 5 threat. So there are 2 ways to lose a card to this. Side scheme, normally it has 3 threat, but Knight of the Sentinels gives it permanent, so it cannot be removed. Then we have Mutants at the mall. So this is a side scheme with 4 threat. Acceleration icon: when defeated, the first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Sentinel minion and reveals it. Flip this card and put Jubilee into play, discarding any other versions of Jubilee from play. So when we clear that, we get Jubilee, but we also get a Sentinel minion. And we have 4 threads here, plus 1 acceleration icon. And then we have Abduction Protocols. So Abduction Protocols is pulled by reveal the Operation Zero Tolerance and Mutants at the mall. Blah blah blah. After an enemy attacks and defeat. Oh, so Abduction Protocols is revealed by the Sentinel. Actually, I forgot about that. So we may as well just look at the Sentinel now. So in his first form, he's got 2 scheme to attack, toughness. When revealed, the first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of the Abduction Protocols side scheme and reveals it. So we have him with toughness, 16 hit points. And now Abduction Protocols side scheme with 2 threat, hinder 2. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme takes 1 random set aside captive ally and puts it into play under their control. So this one starts with 4 threat and a crisis icon. And the captive allies, I've got them here. So how can we get a captive ally? By clearing Abduction Protocols. That's how we get a captive ally, and they can help us win the game. And there is more copies of the Abduction Protocols in his deck. Okay, now we are Kitty Pryde / Shadowcat. So in Alter Ego we've got 3 recovery. Setup, put your mass form upgrade into play, solid face up. Solid face up. Face control, action, flip your mass upgrade, limit once per, mass form upgrade limit once per round. And Shadowcat has 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. She's an X-Men. And her ability is selective intangibility. While you are in phased mass form, Shadowcat ignores the guard and patrol keywords and any crisis icons in play. So then we have our form. So we can be in solid form, mass form permanent, hero resource, exhaust this card, generate a strength resource for an attack or defense event. Response after you attack or defend in solid mass form, flip this card. And then we've got the phased form. So in phased form, while Shadowcat is defending, she cannot take damage. Forced response, after you attack or defend, phased mass form, in phased mass form, flip this card. So the important thing here is this response is not forced, so it's optional. This is forced, so it's mandatory. So when we attack or defend in this form, we have to flip. When we attack or defend in this form, we don't have to flip. Okay. And our deck, this is the pre-made deck from the Mutant Genesis box. So it's straight out of the box, no changes. It's an aggression deck. So Shadowcat aggression, pre-made from Mutant Genesis. Okay, now I'm gonna shuffle the decks and start obviously in my alter ego form. Okay, let's shuffle these decks now. This encounter is not difficult from my experience, at least in on standard difficulty. It's not really that difficult, even though I'm using a pre-made deck and usually they are not that good, but I don't know, Shadowcat seems to be doing okay against the Sentinel. We just have to be careful and not lose to we just have to be careful and not let our allies die from enemy attacks to keep Operation Zero tolerance with no cards, or like 1 or 2 cards. Okay, now my my hand size is 6, so let's draw 6 cards. Okay, so we have Aggressive Energy, 2 copies, Shadow and Steel, Kitty's Room, Attack Training, and Airwalk. This is okay. Let's get rid of this and this. Max Super Deck Hero Enter. When you spend this card attack event, okay, maybe one. I'm gonna leave this. So I'm gonna get rid of Attack Training and Shadow and Steel. Draw 2 more. Ready to Rumble and Ready to Rumble. Okay. These cards kind of suck. Anyway, I'm gonna spend this Ready to Rumble to play Kitty's Room. Support, Alter Ego, exhaust Kitty's Room. If you are in solid mass form, heal 2 damage. In phased mass form, draw 1 card. So now I'm gonna use my ability Phase Control. Flip your mass form upgrade. So I'm gonna flip to phased, and then I'm gonna use Kitty's Room. So if I'm in phased mass form, I draw 1 card. So this is now exhausted. Oh, and my hero is ready. So I draw one card. It's Shadowcat Surprise. That's pretty good. Okay, now I'm gonna flip. And let's see, what can we do? Remove 2 threads from a scheme. 4 thread if you are in phased mass form. So I kind of wanna use that. What does this do? Ready to rumble. After you change form, discard, ready your hero. Okay, that's not too bad. And I've got this as well. Okay, I'm gonna play this first, Airwalk, using aggressive energy. No, I'm actually gonna use Ready to Rumble to pay for this. So hero action thwart, remove 2 threads from a scheme, 4 thread instead if you are in phased mass form. I'm gonna remove 4 threads from abduction protocols. So when defeated, the player who defeated this scheme takes 1 random set aside captive ally and puts it into play under their control. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 4.
Here's a number between 1 and 4. It's 3.
Okay, so we get Wolfsbane, and his attacks gain piercing. Okay, that's actually really lucky. So he's gonna attack, pierce through this tough status card and deal 2 damage to the Sentinel. So he's down to 14. Pretty good. Now, what can I do? Well, I can attack, and if I attack, I flip, and then I can use Shadowcat Surprise, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna attack for 2, down to 12. Now I have to change form. After you attack or defend, I change to solid form. And now I will use this resource. So hero resource, exhaust this card, generate a strength resource for an attack or defense event. I'm gonna generate a resource for this attack event. Shadowcat Surprise, hero action attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy, ready your hero. And I'm gonna use aggressive energy to pay for this. When you spend this card to play an attack event, that event deals 1 additional damage. So first of all, we deal 4 damage. So the Sentinel is down to 8 health. I can now ready my hero. And this is exhausted. Right, and I'm gonna thwart for 2. Oh, and also when I use Shadowcat Surprise, because this is an attack, I changed to phased mass form. Okay, so I'm thwarting. When I'm thwarting, I don't need to change, so I'm gonna stay in this form, and I'm left with aggressive energy in hand. So I'm gonna end my turn here and draw 4 cards: Colossus, Toe to Toe, Attack Training, and Phased Strike. Okay, so let's see. Okay, he will get 1 threat on Knight of the Sentinels. Actually 2, because Mutants at the mall is still in play. Now he's gonna attack, so I'm gonna defend. I'm defending for 2, however, because I am in phased form, I cannot take damage. So he attacks for 2. Plus nothing. My form changes to solid. Now we get 1 encounter card. Assault. When revealed, alter ego. When revealed in hero, the villain attacks you. So he is going to attack for 2. Boost. Put Sentinel Mark 4, into play, engage with you. Okay, so we take 2 damage from his attack. And then this Sentinel has 2 scheme to attack for health, guard, patrol, keywords. Okay. Alright, my turn now. Let's see. What can I do? I can use toe to toe. Attack, choose an enemy. That enemy attacks you, deal 5 damage to that enemy. So I could use this with this. Well, I've got phase strike, 6 deal 6 damage. If you are in phase mass form, you may discard an attachment. Okay, this is not good right now. Colossus, reduce the cost to play Colossus by 1 if your identity has the Mutant or X-Men trait. So I could use these 3 cards. Oh, also Wolfsbane took 1 damage when last turn. What should I do? Attach to an ally. I may keep these 2. Well, I'm definitely playing toe to toe, so I can use here I can use this resource from here to play this. So toe to toe, choose an enemy. That enemy attacks you, deal 5 damage to that enemy. So Sentinel Mark 4 is gonna attack me. I'm down to 5 health, and I'm gonna deal 5 damage here. I'm not gonna change my form right now. What next? I think I'm gonna play this attack training, attach to an X-Men ally, max 1 training upgrade per ally. Attached ally gets +1 attack and +2 hit points. So using phased strike to pay for this. So I'm gonna give it to him, Wolfsbane, and he's gonna attack for 3. Down to 5 health. He will take 1 damage. Okay, now I'm gonna flip. And I'm gonna use Kitty's Room. Heal 2 damage. 7 health. Now, I kinda... Which form do I wanna be in? Doesn't matter because I can use my thingy, right? Okay, I'm gonna ready now and draw 4 cards. Phased and Confused, Phase Strike, Attack Training, and Quick Shift. Right, so now he gets 2 threats on the main scheme. He's gonna scheme now. So he schemes for 2 plus 2 schemes for 4. So now we have 5 threats on Knight of the Sentinels. So after he gets 5 threat here, the first player places the top card of their deck face down under Operation Zero Tolerance, and then we remove 5 threat from here. So we have now, we are at 1 card now here, and now we get 1 counter card. Adaptive Armor, it's an attachment. He gets +5 hit points, so he's at 13. And I can spend 3 energy resources to get rid of this. Okay. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Kitty's ability. Flip to phased form. And I'm gonna use Kitty's Room to draw 1 card. It's Quick Shift. Now I'm gonna flip. And I definitely need to use Phased Strike. But at the same time, I kinda need to use Phased... I kind of need to thwart as well, or maybe I'll thwart next time. Oh, I should have used Kitty's ability, so I would have been in my face form at the start of my round, then draw and then flip, because I don't want to be in the face form now. That was a mistake, but that's okay. I can use this and this. I guess I'm gonna get rid of Colossus. Okay, I'm gonna use Phased Strike, Hero Action Attack, deal 6 damage to an enemy. If you're in Face Mask form, you may discard an attachment with the text Hero Action or Hero Response from that enemy. So it's actually gonna do 7 damage because we're using aggressive energy to pay. Now I'm not really sure what the order here is. I'm guessing I can discard this first, otherwise it would be very weak. So by discarding this, he goes down to 5 health. And now I'm gonna deal the damage from Phase Strike. So I'm dealing 7 damage. So he goes to his second form. In this form he's got 18 health, 2 scheme, 3 attack, steady and toughness. The first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Abduction Protocols. Deal each other player a face down encounter card. Okay, so basically we're doing 18. He's got 18 health. This is now in solid. We need Abduction Protocols. There we go. So Abduction Protocols, same thing as previously, 4 threat. And I want to be in my phased form, right? At the end of the round. Also, he is tough. And I've got quick shift and phased and confused. Anyway, I have to attack, otherwise I can't change my form. Well, actually, quick shift, defense. When an enemy attacks, if we're in solid mass form, I can change to face mass form. Okay, I can change. So I'm gonna thwart for 2 actually and get rid of mutants at the mall. Actually, before that happens, our friend here is gonna attack to remove this tough status card, and he will deal 3 damage and take 1 damage. Now, because of his attachment, he still has 2 health. Okay, now this becomes Jubilee. So let me just move this a bit. So Jubilee is an ally with 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health. The first player controls Jubilee. She does not count against your ally limit. And I can, as an action, I can exhaust Jubilee and spend a energy resource, deal 2 damage to an enemy. I reckon she will just thwart for 1. One, 2, 3, and now we have to pull. What do we need to do? Oh, we get 1 extra encounter card, just so I don't forget. And the first player says the encounter. Okay, and we also need to get a Sentinel minion. So let's go with this one, Sentinel Mark 6. Okay. Right, so this guy over here has quick strike, so he deals 2 damage to me. He's got 2 scheme, 2 attack and 6 health. And I'm left with 2 copies of quick shift and phased and confused. So I'm gonna find it difficult to play this, I reckon. No, I think it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna end my turn. So ready everybody, and draw 2. Shadowcat Surprise and Wolverine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now he gets 1 threat on Night of the Sentinels, and he's gonna attack. So I'm gonna use Quick Shift for 0. Hero Interrupt, Defense. When an enemy attacks, if you are in solid mass form, I can change to phased form. So I'm gonna change to phased. And I am now defending because it's a defense action. It's a defense interrupt. So I am now defending and I'm in phased form. So while Shadowcat is defending, she cannot take damage. So he attacks for 3 plus 2, but I am defending, I can't take damage. And now this guy is gonna attack me for 2. So I'm down to 3 health. And now we get 2 encounter cards. The first one, Advance, the Villain Schemes. Schemes for 2 plus 2. So he schemes for 4, which means we have 5 threat here. He gets another card underneath Operation Zero Tolerance. And Energy Barrier. Attached to a Sentinel minion without Energy Barrier. Attach and give it a tough status card. Otherwise this card gains Surge. Force response. After attached minion attacks, give it a tough status card. Plus 2 attack. Okay. That's really bad, obviously. We probably just need to ignore this guy for the rest of the game. Right, what's the play now? We definitely want to use Shadowcat Surprise. But before we do that, so Shadowcat Surprise, and I can use Wolverine to pay. And then I'm gonna flip. I think this is gonna be okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna attack him for 2, so he's down to 13. And when I do that, this changes to solid form. Now I'm gonna use this ability to generate a resource, use Wolverine and generate 2 resources for Shadowcat Surprise, Hero Attack, Hero Action Attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy ready hero. So deal 3 damage to him. And ready my hero. Now I mean I can deal a lot of damage to him now, and he's probably gonna lose. So is it worth clearing this scheme? I'm not sure. I mean, he can deal 3 damage, get him down to 7 health. That's already very low. And he's left with 1 HP. I mean, I'm gonna attack, so down to 5 health. And I'm in solid form, so I can heal. Well, let's flip. And heal 2. So 5. And let's flip. I want to be in phased form, so using Kitty's ability. And I'm left with Quick Shift and Phased and Confused. I actually don't want Phased and Confused. I don't need it right now. And let's say she attacked for 1 as well, so down to 4. And she took 1 damage. Okay, now I'm gonna ready. And draw 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have Shadowcat Surprise, Phased and Confused, Genius, Team Strike, Intangible Interference, and Quick Shift. So I think he's gonna lose now. I'm not really sure how he can win from here, but anyway, he gets 1 threat on here. He's gonna scheme for 2 plus 2. Okay, so we lose another card. Okay, so he's only 1 away from winning, so we can still lose because now he's gonna scheme for 2. And if we get a bad and counter card, we can still lose. Okay, it's an attachment. His attacks gains piercing and ranged, plus 1 attack. I can spend 3 strength resources to get rid of this. Okay, well in that case, I can use this. I am in phased form to draw a card. Now I can use Kitty's ability to change to solid. Now I'm gonna flip, and he is pretty much done because I'm just gonna attack him for 2. So he's down to 2 health, and now I can use this and Phased and Confused to pay for Shadowcat Surprise. Deal 3 damage to an enemy, ready your hero. So he is at 0 health, and we win. So yeah, not Shadowcat is amazing. She's brilliant. She's a great hero. Very fun to play. Not the most difficult encounter for her, but that was the Sentinel from Mutant Genesis against Shadowcat. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.